Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to the very first episode of Trading an Inside Look. And it's an absolute privilege and honour to have my very first guest on today, and it's Trading with Kieran. We're going to be getting quite a few guests on, and it's going to be a show that I'm going to do quite regularly. I've got some very interesting things lined up, so it's an absolute honour to get it kick-started with this dude. So enjoy. It's going to be over 2 parts, by the way, and please excuse the quality. It is my first one. I actually thought I lost the Zoom footage, but I didn't. So let's get straight into this. Right, welcome to the video and the channel, guys. I'm here with Kieran. Got it right this time. Who's a student of Zed and Tom. So thank you for coming on, mate. And
No worries, happy to be here.
thank you. And this is the first episode of well, I haven't actually got a name for it yet, but I was thinking about calling it an inside look into trading and like the community
Like
and
that
stuff.
name, it's a good name.
Trading
Good
an
name.
inside look.
Yeah, I like it.
So right, the first question that I want to start with is, how did you start trading?
Yeah, so really, the coronavirus kicked in. So we in Ireland went into lockdown on March 12th. And then I was in my last year of school and I wasn't bothered by it, I just didn't like it. And then I was looking for new things to do. And then in June, then I think it was June, July, I was looking through YouTube. And then I came across Lewis Crocker and Zed Monopoly. And I done my research, and then the next day I bought Zed's course and started from there.
The
And
next
but
day.
I didn't know anything about, yeah, the next day, yeah, but I didn't know anything about the stock market, trading, investing. I knew nothing. But when I was seeing Zed making a week's wages in 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I want to do that. Why work a job when you can do that? And then
It's,
here we are today.
it's a mad feeling, isn't it? You know, when you first find out about it and you see
Yeah,
somebody
it's
make that money, you're like, wow. Even when you first make your first £100 whatever in the market, and it doesn't seem real. I was saying to somebody the other day, I just tend to gamble
mm,
my money. As soon as I get my money, I have to go into demo account. Otherwise, I'll gamble it away because it doesn't feel real,
yeah,
does it?
yeah. And yeah, it's a great feeling. Even when the first time you place a trade and you get your first win, like you get your first profit, it's a great feeling because then it's like, oh, this is real. Like I'm not watching a YouTube video anymore. This is real. Like I'm making money.
What was your first profit? I remember mine was £2.60 something.
Yeah, I think my first profit was on. I think my first trade was on Tesco. I was I was scrolling through and I was like, what's a company I can think of? And I thought of Tesco, and then I looked at Tesco and I just started placing random trades. I didn't know what I was doing. There's no strategy, just click and buy and sell. Well, I made about €1.60 off it.
I remember thinking trading was pretty easy as well at the start of lockdown. I was just shorting every day. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just shorting random stocks and making money. I thought, oh God, this is easy. And the next minute, you get slapped in the face when there was a reversal.
I know, yeah, 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 it happens more often than you'd like it to happen, but that's part of it. And it took me, I didn't know what shorting was. It took me about 3 hours to figure out what shorting a stock was.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? When you first find it out and you think, hang on a minute, how can I sell a stock yet make money? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
before, yeah, I was like, how do I sell something I don't have? It didn't make sense to me.
I think I've only just understood it myself, like recently, like how it actually works. Like I knew
Mm,
how to trade it, but only recently I actually understood that like they buy the shares back and all that. And I thought, okay, I don't need to know that really, but it was
yeah,
just a bit weird, isn't it?
yeah, it just needs to make sense in the brain.
So yeah, so how did you get on after you got the course?
So I got the course and I think I finished Zed's course in 3 days. I flew through it, and then I flew through it. Like, I just completely rushed it. I was going through every folder in the space of an hour or less, and then because I just wanted to get straight into it. And I went in. Then I used a demo account for about 3 hours, and then I decided, yeah, I know everything, and I stuck 300 quid in, And in the space of three hours again, the next 3 hours I was broke and I just lost 300 quid. And I was like, oh, well, not as easy as I thought. So then I had to go over the course again, and it took me about 2 weeks to go over the course properly. And then I done a demo account for about 2 weeks. I done a demo account for about 2 weeks. Probably don't should have done much longer. They recommend you do it much longer. But I only done it for 2 weeks, and then I stuck 500 quid in. And when I done that, I lost half of it. Right, so I was down to 250 off the bat in the space of a month. I think I lost half of it. And then I was like, right, what am I doing wrong here? And I was just looking through the history of all my trades. And I was getting more greens than reds, but like the greens would be like, so it was a 500 euro account. So the greens would be like 10 euro, 8 euro. But then the reds would be like 30 euro, 40 euro. So once I get one red, it'd take me about 4 or 5 trades to try break even. So I had to completely just get my risk management in place because I had none whatsoever. So it took me. So I didn't start getting consistent until about 4 or 5 months into it. It took me a while to process it all and to try stop over trading.
That's the hardest thing, isn't it? Over trading. That's something that I
Yeah,
struggled myself with.
yeah, because once you lose a trade and you try to double dip, you're setting yourself up for another loss. Because you're not thinking with your head anymore. You're thinking with emotion,
Mm.
and you lose the plot with it. There's no thought anymore. It's just there's no strategy. It's just it's reaction.
Yeah, I've done it myself before, and I've just lost a trade, opened the chart up, and just placed the trade without even looking at the chart. Just placed the trade,
Yeah.
trying to rush to get that money back because you. I don't know if you feel the same, but I don't want to feel the pain of that loss. So I'll do anything to even just to break
No.
even once you're in a
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah. It's horrible feeling. You get a loss, and then you know you shouldn't be going back in again, but you do anyway. Then you lose more money, and then it's you're not taking one step forward and 3 steps backwards. And it just makes the process much harder. How did you do when you started off?
Well, I did like normal investing for a while, and
Hmm.
the community that I learned in really frowned upon CFDs and anybody that traded them. It was like the big bad devil. So when I actually brought Zed's course, I didn't tell anybody, and then somebody found I think it was a tweet or something that I put out, and they were like, shared it in the group. I can't believe you're doing CFD. Are you mad? And I was like, no, I think I found something that actually works. And then just started doing it. Lost loads of money. They loved it. They were like, I told you. And then
Yeah.
just pretty much the same as you, mate. Just kept like trading. It's only really recently that I've actually seen consistency because I had no risk management for about a year, just making money, losing money, trying to find this holy grail that doesn't exist. And then it's only recently come to me that it's not about the strategy really. You need to find something that works, but it is really about that risk management. And the minute I turn the
Mm,
tap off on that risk management and just locked it off, put that 2% in, put the stop loss, it's trading just changed. The next day, it's like the money that I'm making now, I'm not risking losing all that profit now. If I make £100, my stop loss for the next trade is at 50 quid. You know what I mean? So I'm still up.
yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it takes a good while to get into the groove of things.
It does, yeah, and especially like when you see other people kind of making money in the chat rooms as well. It's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It motivates you, but then sometimes I've seen it and I've gone, "Why am I not getting this? I'm going back in the market." You know what I mean? And
Mm,
you have to just take a step back sometimes and think, "Well, these people have been in here for a while," and also some people
yeah,
pick it up quicker than other people.
exactly. I've been in like there's times where I've been in Zed's course for maybe 3 4 months, and next going to be someone that's been in it for 2 weeks, and I've doubled my accounts. I was like I might just a bad trader. Like well, how's he doing it this fast? I've been doing it for 4 times the amount as he's been doing it. So like you're happy to see other people doing well, but then at the same time, you're kind of, if things aren't going right for you, it makes you think like, am I just not good at this? Like, am I stupid, or why can't I get this? No, but it's not the case now. Everyone picks it up differently.
Man, that's very true. I taught one of my friends how to trade, and now he's more profitable and more consistent than me. But that's because I think I've learned everything to do with trading. Well, I believe I have. Like, I've gone indicators. I've even made my own indicators. I've done like everything. Whereas he's come into a strategy that's known to work with a simple mindset. And he's like a really simple thinker. He just places the trade, doesn't even have a bias. And I was remember when I was teaching him saying, "Oh, well, this is the CFD, you know, this is the course, buy
Mm.
the course, get in the chat room." He's like, "Yeah, sweet." Next minute, I'm just like, "How are you doing it?" I was like, "You need to come and teach me now." But
Yeah.
it is that simple mindset.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the more simple you're going to keep things, the more you stop yourself from getting over confused. You know, sometimes you have almost too much information, and the next thing it kind of maybe they're kind of contrary to each other, and the next thing you don't know what to believe. You just have to see what works for you.
Yeah, it's very psychological, which brings me on to the next question actually. Like, how is like psychology for you in trading? Like, is it like a big part of your trading, or is it something that you've kind of just picked up pretty quick? As in, like, like the mindset of a trader.
Yeah. So yeah, I think one of the first things you're taught when you join the course is you need to think like an investor, because at the end of the day, they're what moves the stock markets. You know, if there's good news, it's the investors buying these large amount of shares. They're gonna push a stock up or down, or an industry or whatever. Those, the banks, all those, like, they're traders don't move the markets. You know, people using CFDs and spread betting and so on. We're not what move the markets. It's the investors that move the market. So you have to. When I see good news now, I'm thinking like, all right, so I'm an investor. This is good news. Am I going to buy this stock? Am I going to hop in straight away? Is it overbought? No, is it a reasonable price for the stock? So you have to. You really do need to. I think it's quite important to think like an investor, and then you're jumping on the back end of what they're doing or what they're thinking.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I like doing. I like thinking like, because one part it's very emotional, and then I think a lot of investors are quite emotional in the sense that they like fear. If something's a fact and you've got a rumor, they prefer the hype, the rumor. Like the same thing with the Dow the other day. It's pumping on stimulus, and there's negative facts coming out, but it's still going up because I guess they see the stimulus as hype. Whereas before I tapped into that mindset, I'd try and think like a bit like logical, but as in like in a human sense. I think with trading, you've got to think very different mindset. Whereas the rational
Mm.
person would say, well, that's negative, it's going to go down. But normally it's the opposite that happens. And I think we've got to train our minds to think in that way. And it's a really, I don't want to swear, it's a really weird way of thinking. Very
Yeah,
strange.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if there's a stock in particular that's a very good example for doing the exact opposite of what I should do is Harley Davidson. It, I've traded that stock 3 times and I've gotten burnt twice. I remember, I think it was there recently, they had bad earnings or something, and it was really poor, and it was down maybe 9%. It was down about 7% pre-mark, so I wasn't oversold or anything like that. Next time I was ready to sell, and pop goes up about 3%. Before it was just like, oh Jesus, because it's such an emotional stock. People, I don't know what, something about the motorbikes. People love it. I don't know what it is,
Mate, I got
but
burnt
it
as
does
well.
the exact opposite. Yeah, yeah. I think everyone has. I think it's just one of those stocks that will, you don't know what it'll do.
Yeah, I always say three stocks that always send shivers down my spine. and pins, PLTR, and Harley Davidson. Just I don't bother trading them now. I've written them down on a list. I just leave
Yeah.
them alone. They're not my friend.
Oh no. Yeah, no, and the Tesla's another one for me where it's just like I can't get the grip of it. There's something about the movement of it, it just throws me off. Yeah.
And I think that's
Mm.
a good thing as well, in a sense that once you've been in the market long enough and you know what works for you and what to keep out of, like SP Space, the Virgin Galactic, that's another one. And I just you get a feel,
Yeah,
don't you, for how these stocks move. Like Neo, I know Neo like the back of my
yeah.
hand. I trade it every day. Well, not at the moment, but yeah, pre-Reddit, it was a good stock.
Back when it was in its prime.
Yes, the good old days.
Yeah. The good days when it was in the $50, $60 range.
Oh man, every day,
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It was the go-to stock when there was nothing going on.
or even I'd like
Mm.
have it on another chart. I would, and then do like the patterns or whatever on
Mm.
one chart, and just look at Neo, think, oh, wicked. It's had its little pullback or whip up, get in. Just really easy. Did the same thing every day,
Yeah.
pretty much, either one
Yeah.
way or the other. So that leads me on to my next question. What's your favorite stock? It's a hard one right at the moment, isn't
Tough
it?
one. I've got yeah, because I go through phases with stuff. Because I remember a couple of months ago, I loved Twitter because I done one swing trade on Twitter, and I think I made €400 at it, which was my biggest profit. And I loved it. I fell in love, and I traded it for the next 2 weeks, and but then I got spanked eventually, and then I moved on to Neo, and then that just collapsed recently. So at the moment, you know, at the moment it's not stock, but my favorite indice at the moment that I love to trade is the FTSE at the moment. Um, just I used to be quite poor at the FTSE. I'd set an alarm for 10 to 8, and I'd be there and I'd half falling asleep in bed on my phone trying to trade the FTSE, and I every day I think I lost on it at 8 a.m. for 10 days straight, and I stopped trading it for about 2 months. And just recently, the last 2 weeks, I started trading it again. I set my alarm for 7:45, and I leave my laptop downstairs at the kitchen table, so that I have to get out of the bed. I have 45 minutes to wake up, get a cup of coffee, watch the news. I like to watch Bloomberg in the background, have it up on YouTube, Bloomberg, so you can see what people are saying, whatnot. And I've ended up loving it, and I've won every morning at it for the last 2 weeks, and it's been great for me. So that's my favorite indice at the moment. I don't think I have a favorite stock, but if I was to pick one, if I was to pick a company, at the moment, I'd probably say Plug.
I like Plug, but it's another one on my list that I just got burnt once, and since then I just can't do it. But it used to be
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
yeah. Yeah, it used to be. It was a very good one. Yeah, I haven't traded it in a while now, but it was one of my favorites. What about you? What's your favorite stock at the moment? Is it still Neo?
See, people are going to be a bit disappointed because I'm known to not shut up about Neo. um, I guess at the moment,
Yes.
um, I guess the stock that I'm trading all the time at the moment is Tesla. So I'd have to say it's Tesla. But then again,
Yeah.
I am in a good long-term position with Neo. I brought literally right on the bottom. I got quite lucky with the position, so it's up. I think about 5% at the moment, and the Tesla one's up 17%. So I think I'd say those two companies. Tesla is beating it a bit because I've been
Yeah.
trading it every day.
Yeah. You have to. You just said there. What'd you say? Tesla's up 17%. So you said.
Yeah, yeah, on the long-term one.
Yeah. I think. I think it was down at one stage below 600 just there recently. But yeah, as time goes on, like Harley Davidson, you get to know what the emotional stocks are. You know, it's the Tesla, Facebook, Snapchat, Nike, they're the big ones that everyone knows of. You'll have their clothes or their product at the house, and they're the ones that they don't stay down for very long. They'll have a big jump down, but then the jump back up will be twice as big.
I like to see it as, imagine you're in a supermarket and you see a Tesla car, cheap, or you see a pair of Nike shoes, cheap. You know what I mean? Just like the stock is, people are going to flock to it. If it's a good company and it's cheap, just imagine it's the product. And that's what I always look at it like that. And people are going to lap it up at a good price. Next week's guest is an absolute privilege to have him on as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. So let's see what the future holds for trading and inside luck. Peace out.